Hello students, so let's start here the second chapter with your social science history. In history part, this is extension of the British rule. The extension of the British rule. In this chapter, we are going to study the first session right now. The remaining part we are going to study later on. Okay, so see, in the first session we understand that whatever we've studied in the previous class or in the previous lesson, that we have to link here. So what did we study in the previous lesson? We studied about the different Carnatic wars that took place between British and the Indians. In those Carnatic wars, also in the Battle of Buxar and Battle of Plassey, in all these wars, British got good control over areas in the east such as Bengal and all this region. In the eastern areas, British had got a good control. Whereas compared to that, in the western and the southern parts, British did not have a good control that time. So that was one thing that British was lacking behind in. Okay, it was lacking behind in having control in the western and the southern parts of India. Okay, it had full-fledged control over the eastern parts, particularly talking about Bengal. So now this lesson we are going to talk about how British is trying its best to take control over the west as well as the south parts of India. So in the western and the southern parts, particularly to talk about these two rulers were there, that were Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan of Mysore. So Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan of Mysore, these two rulers or these two king, you can say, they were completely against the British and they were very powerful that time. So for British, it was difficult to defeat these two people because they were actually very powerful and they had a lot of support of the people also. Also another important person there is Ranjit Singh. So what is the work of the Ranjit Singh? Ranjit Singh was also completely against the British and he used to organize Sikh people. Sikhs, okay, that's a religion, right? So those people he used to organize and they used to fight against the British, or you can say they were completely together, they were completely against the British. So that those particular region belonging to Hyder Ali, Tipu Sultan and Ranjit Singh, these particular regions were not under the control of British. And why would British want that, right? British is trying to have its full control on India, so British wanted all the regions of India to be under its control, and these were also the powerful regions of India at that time because a lot of trading activities would be taking place in this region during that time. So now you see the British is going to fight different wars against the Marathas and different type of wars, and I think around 4 wars were fought between the British and the Marathas, and those were called the Anglo-Maratha wars. So you're going to learn now in this session, in this chapter, you're going to learn about the Anglo-Maratha wars. So let's start here with the first Anglo-Maratha war. So when did it start? This Anglo-Maratha war started in 1775 to 1782. It started in the year 1775. It lasted up to 1782. In these 2 years, you see this Anglo-Maratha war first Anglo-Maratha war had taken place. How many years is that? That's hardly 7 years, right? For hardly 7 years, this war took place. 7 years is actually a long span of time. You can't say hardly 7 years. So what different thing had happened during this war? See, if you are aware, in the previous lesson you learned that British had given the throne to Shah Alam II. After giving the throne, because Shah Alam II became opposite against the British, Shah Alam II had started going against the British. That's why British had removed him from the throne completely. So what happened is, these Marathas, they brought Shah Alam II back on throne. Okay, they made Shah Alam II as their Peshwa. Now what is a Peshwa here? When I say Peshwa, you should understand king. Okay, Marathas made the Peshwa, that is a king, was Shah Alam II. He was made the Peshwa there. Okay, now as you very well know, Shah Alam II is not in favor of the British. He is against the British. So whatever some places the British had, he took their places and gave it to the Marathas. For example, Kora and Allahabad. Kora and Allahabad were the places belonging to the British. Belonging to the British in the sense, the British had taken control over these places. Now what Shah Alam II did is, he took these places from the British and he gave these places to the Marathas. He took Kora and Allahabad from the British and he gave them to Marathas. Now because of this, obviously the British were completely unhappy. It was like an enmity that started between the Marathas and the British. Why this enmity started between the Marathas and the British? Particularly because this Shah Alam II took away the places belonging to the British and he gave them to the Marathas. Which are the two places? Kora and Allahabad. But here some incidents took place which you can say it hindered the war. Now the war started taking place between British and the Marathas. Now how this war actually started, what is the reason here, that we are going to learn. See, the Peshwa that time was Madhav Rao. After Shah Alam II, Madhav Rao was the Peshwa. Now Madhav Rao died. Okay, after the death of Madhav Rao, his own brother, that was Narayan Rao, became the Peshwa. So what happened here? Madhav Rao was the Peshwa. After the death of Madhav Rao, Narayan Rao, who is the brother of Madhav Rao, became the Peshwa. See, these names and all are very important. Please do not get confused. So what happened here? This Narayan Rao, who was the brother of Madhav Rao, he was murdered. He was murdered by whom? He was murdered by his own uncle. His own uncle murdered him. What was the name of his uncle? Raghoba. Or the proper name is Raghunath Rao. Raghoba murdered whom? Narayan Rao. Now why is this murdering and all that taking place? Obviously because they want to have control over the throne. Now if Narayan Rao is the Peshwa, his uncle thought that if Narayan Rao dies, he will only become the Peshwa. Who he? The Raghunath will become the Peshwa. So for that reason he killed Narayan Rao. Now after the death of Narayan Rao, what happened is Marathas, they got very angry again and they made Madhav Rao II, okay, as the Peshwa. Now who was Madhav Rao II here? Madhav Rao II was the minor son of Narayan Rao. So what is a minor son? Minor son meaning he had not reached the age of 18 yet. He was smaller, he was around 15, 16 something. He had not reached the age of 18. So Madhav Rao II was made the, or you know how to read this? You can read it as Madhav Rao the second. Or Madhav Rao II also you can say, or Madhav Rao the second. Okay, so Madhav Rao the second was made the Peshwa by the Marathas. Marathas together decided to make Madhav Rao as the second as the Peshwa. Now who was Madhav Rao II here? He was the son of Narayan. Who was Narayan? Narayan was the brother of Madhav Rao. Who killed Narayan? His own uncle Raghunath Rao killed Narayan. Remember it in a sequence one by one so that you don't get confused. Later now what happened? Now because Marathas made Madhav Rao II as the Peshwa, obviously Raghunath Rao got angry. Raghunath Rao had killed Narayan Rao to become the Peshwa, but now what happened here? Who is becoming the Peshwa? Madhav Rao II is becoming the Peshwa. So Raghunath Rao got very angry and he took the help of the British. Here Raghoba, who is Raghunath Rao, took British's help. He took help of the British. For what? He called the British and he said he wants to fight against these Marathas because he knew that the British are very powerful. He knew that the British would win, and if the British win, he would only, that is Raghoba only, would become the Peshwa of that region. So he forced the British, or he told the British to fight a war against the Marathas. Now this war started in this year 1775. This war started between the British and the Marathas. So what happened here? Initially the Marathas had the upper hand. Upper hand meaning they were winning. Okay, but slowly one by one what happened? These Marathas, they lost certain places to British again. Allahabad, they lost again to British. Initially Allahabad was with British only, but later it was given to the Marathas by Shah Alam II, right? But again in this war, in the first Anglo-Maratha war, Allahabad was given back to the British, or British won the Allahabad through the war. Okay, that was one thing that happened there. Later the Marathas ended the war. See, now the Marathas were not able to fight this war. Why they were not able to fight this war? Because war is a thing that causes a lot of expenses. It will cause a lot of, not only financially, but also you're going to lose your soldiers. So which is a huge thing. Okay, so these Marathas decided not to fight the war anymore, and they kind of gave up and they signed this treaty called the Salbai Agreement. Now what is this Salbai Agreement? That you're going to learn in very much in detail in your further classes. I will not tell you much in detail about this particular agreement because you don't have in detail about this agreement right now. Salbai Agreement is basically an agreement signed between the Marathas and the British, that much you remember. With that agreement, who ended the war? The Marathas ended the war with the British, signing the Salbai Agreement. Now after the Marathas, they gave up, the next king Madhav Rao II only became the next Peshwa of the Maratha kingdom. Okay, Madhav Rao II became the Peshwa of the Maratha kingdom. So this is how the first Anglo-Maratha war took place. It lasted for 7 years. During this 7-year time, the Marathas and the British, both of them had lost a lot of their army, and it was you can say a drawback. And because of this particular thing, because they lost so much of their army, that's why Marathas decided to stop the war, and they signed this Salbai agreement, and they completely stopped the war. And later Madhav Rao too only. Who was Madhav Rao too? Whose son? He was the son of Narayan. Okay, he only became the Peshwa there. So shall I do a quick revision about the first Anglo-Maratha war? Okay, I'll do a quick revision here. Just go through it. Okay, first Shah Alam II was put back on throne by the Marathas. Initially Shah Alam II was put on throne by the British, but the British had removed him again because Shah Alam II was going against the British now. But again the Marathas brought Shah Alam II. Now Shah Alam II took the places that belonged to British and he gave it to the Marathas. Okay, the places are Kora and Allahabad. Now this British got very angry because of this situation. Also another thing that happened during that time was Madhav Rao, who was the Peshwa, he died. After he died, his own brother, that was Narayan Rao, he became the Peshwa. But Narayan Rao was murdered by his own uncle. Who was his uncle? Raghunath, okay, or Raghoba, or Raghunath Rao. Why did he murder him? To become the Peshwa, right? To become the Peshwa, he murdered him. But who was made the Peshwa? The Marathas decided to make Madhav Rao too as the Peshwa of Maratha. Okay, so this made Raghoba very angry. So he took the help of the British. He decided to fight a war against the Marathas with the help of the British, right? So this war started, and initially in the war the Marathas had very upper hand, but later on they lost certain places to British. That is, one place is Allahabad. They lost Allahabad to British there. And another thing that happened there, what else happened here? Later Marathas ended this war with Salbai agreement. With the Salbai agreement they ended the war. Madhav Rao too was named as the Peshwa of Maratha again. So these are the different things that happened during the first Anglo-Maratha war. Okay. So after this only, this Lord Wellesley came into power. He became the Governor General of British. Now who was the Governor General? Governor General is the head of the British. Every now and then the Governor General would keep changing. So currently the Governor General was Lord Wellesley. Lord Wellesley tried his best to control all the places in India. So first of all, when Lord Wellesley came into power, right, when he became the Governor General, that time these Marathas and the Mysore, these places had become already weak. You see, because of the war also Marathas had become weak, and Mysore also had fought certain wars, and because of the war they had become weak. Like the army was not very strong anymore. How do you say a place had become weak? To tell that one place had become weak, basic idea is you understand that the army of that particular place had become weak, and then you say the place has become weak. Okay, so Marathas and Mysore had become very weak, and now Lord Wellesley tried his best to take complete control over this particular area. Okay, so he followed the three methods to take complete control, or to have control on this particular regions. The three methods were: first, subsidiary alliance. Okay, you're going to learn that further. It's very interesting. Also, waging war against the new states. That is, calling war against the new state. Next is direct administration of state by the British. Doing administration of the states in India by the British. So all these three are going to learn in detail. First we start learning about the subsidiary alliance. So what was this subsidiary alliance, and why did it play such an important role in the history of India? It was introduced by Lord Wellesley, subsidiary alliance. According to the subsidiary alliance, the Indian rulers were forced to keep at least some military army in their own boundary. In the boundary of Indians had to keep some British army. Okay, so British promised them to give the protection. Now British, what they are doing, they are using another trick. They are promising Indians that we will give you protection. We will give you protection, but in return of that, what you have to do? You have to keep some army in your compound only. Also one British administrator you have to keep in your palace only, and you have to give food and shelter to them. Proper food, shelter, whatever requirements are there of the soldiers, you have to provide the soldiers with that particular requirement. Okay, and also whatever decisions you're taking, or whatever pact and agreement you're signing, you have to sign it by the approval of the British administrator who is there in your palace. The British administrator that will be there in your palace, you have to take agreement from him. You have to tell him. If you want to sign any pact or agreement, you have to tell him first. If he says yes, then only you can sign his agreements. So what is happening here? If you use your common sense, you will understand the British is using their trick now. They are keeping their people in the Indian army so that they get to know what different things are happening in these Indians amongst them in their palaces, what different things are happening. Also, they do not have to take expenditure of the maintaining British army. The British army are maintained by the state people only, right? Whoever king is there, that king only is only going to maintain the British army. So that is how they used to control, okay, this completely. They used to put their control. That is called the subsidiary alliance. That is called the subsidiary alliance there. Okay, so what exactly happened? Let me repeat to you what happened. First of all, in the subsidiary alliance, the British army would stay in the boundary of the Indians. Okay, in the boundary of the Indians, the British army would stay, and even one administrator had to live there along with the British army. One administrator would be there. And what other things would happen? This administrator would have to, if the Indians want to sign any pact or agreement, they had to show it to this administrator of the British. So this British is getting to know everything that the Indians are doing. Also, the army of the British is maintained by the Indians only. Right, so that is how more and more expenses of Indians started happening. Indians, see, first of all, Indians did not understand the motive of this. Indians initially they thought, okay, British are helping us, they are giving their army to us, so we can use we can take use of their army. That way the British started thinking. They did not think at all that the Indians, that the British were trying to control them. They were only thinking that the British is trying to help us, they are giving us army, but they have to take care of the army, they have to provide their food and everything. Okay, that they were not thinking. So in that way the British took control, or they took advantage of the Indians. That is called the subsidiary alliance. Subsidiary spelling is here, okay, that is a little wrong. Subsidiary alliance, that is the subsidiary alliance. So it was started by him. It was started by Lord Wellesley. So that is an important alliance there, subsidiary alliance started by Lord Wellesley. Okay, now let's move forward and learn about the Second Anglo-Maratha War. So what was the Second Anglo-Maratha War and what happened, all things that happened during the Second Anglo-Maratha War? Let's learn. So Second Anglo-Maratha War took place between 1809 to 1805. It took place between 1809 to 1805. So what different things happened here? First of all, Yeshwanath Rao of Holkar and Dault Rao of Sindhia, they both wanted to take control over Peshwa Balaji Rao II. Balaji Rao II was a very powerful Peshwa in Maratha that time. Okay, so Balaji Rao II, everybody wanted to defeat Balaji Rao II and take control on this empire. Two particular people who wanted to defeat Balaji Rao II are Yeshwant Rao of Holkar. Holkar is a place. Also Daulat Rao of Sindhia. Sindhia is also a place. So these two people of these two places, they were trying to take control over Balaji Rao II. What happened here? In 1802, Holkar fought a war and he defeated Sindhia as well as Balaji Rao II. Holkar fought a war and he defeated Sindhia as well as Balaji Rao II. Now the Peshwa got angry. Now because Holkar defeated them, the Peshwa got angry and the Peshwa appealed to the British. He went to the British, he appealed to the British that now he does not he wants the British to help him to fight against the Marathas. And the British thought this is a very good time and they can take advantage of this time and they can defeat all the Marathas. Okay, so British also got very they came forward to fight a war. Why? Because they wanted to defeat the Marathas. They came forward along with Lord Wellesley. And so what happened here, Lord Wellesley, he put forth the proposal for a subsidiary alliance. So this Initially Hyderabad is the first place which agreed with subsidiary alliance. Later on many other places had agreed with subsidiary alliance. Okay, so this particular Peshwa, that is Balaji Rao, he also agreed with subsidiary alliance because the Lord Wellesley told him that I will give you all kind of protection. I will give you British army who will protect you from any kind of people. It might be Holkar, it might be Scindia. I will protect you from them. The Lord Wellesley told him. So Peshwa, he agreed. He agreed with subsidiary alliance. He started to keep the British army along with them. Okay, and then later on the war started. Lord Wellesley fought and defeated most of the Maratha families. He fought with the Maratha families like Holkar, Scindia. He fought with them and he defeated most of them. Most of them were defeated by Lord Wellesley. Okay. So after this war, what happened? This war lasted for a long time. Okay. Though it lasted for 2 years only, but a lot of expenditure of British happened during this time. So British lost a lot of soldiers also, and a lot of expenditure happened also, and because of which the other Britishers, they started to tell Lord Wellesley that your subsidiary alliance is completely a failure, and because of you our British had to lose so much money in the war and all. So Lord Wellesley got completely upset and he left his post of the Governor General. He left his post and he went back to England. Okay, so this war was a burden on the British. So British started blaming this particular person who was Lord Wellesley. So they decided to Lord Wellesley decided to go back to England. So this was all about the Second Anglo-Maratha War here, which took place for 2 years during 1803 to 1805. So let me do a quick revision of the Second Anglo-Maratha War here. Yeshwant Rao of Holkar and Daulat Rao of Scindia. These two people, they both wanted to take control over Peshwa Balaji Rao. Okay, and during the year 1802, Holkar fought a war and defeated Peshwa also and Scindia also. So what happened here? This Peshwa, he went and he appealed to the British. He appealed to the British, and the British Lord Wellesley told him to keep the subsidiary alliance. He kept the subsidiary alliance, he kept the soldiers, and along with that the war also started. And in the war, a lot of British lost a lot of their you can say soldiers and financial condition. So then Britishers started blaming Lord Wellesley about this particular thing. That's why Lord Wellesley left India and went to England.